Macbeth, a tragedy by William Shakespeare, begins with the Scottish general Macbeth and his friend Banquo encountering three witches on a desolate heath. The witches prophesy that Macbeth will become the King of Scotland, and Banquo's descendants will inherit the throne. Intrigued and ambitious, Macbeth shares the prophecy with his wife, Lady Macbeth, who is equally eager for power. She persuades Macbeth to murder King Duncan to hasten his ascent to the throne. Despite his initial hesitations, Macbeth succumbs to his wife's encouragement and kills King Duncan, framing the guards for the murder. Overcome with guilt and paranoia, Macbeth ascends the throne but finds no peace. Haunted by his actions and driven by fear, he becomes increasingly tyrannical and violent. His reign is marked by a series of ruthless acts, including the murder of Banquo, whom he sees as a threat due to the witch's prophecy regarding Banquo's descendants. Banquo's ghost appears at a royal banquet, tormenting Macbeth and revealing his crumbling sanity. Macbeth's descent into madness continues as he seeks out the witches again, demanding more prophecies. They warn him to beware of Macduff, assure him that no man born of a woman will harm him, and state he will remain unvanquished until Birnam Wood comes to Dunsinane Hill. Misinterpreting these prophecies as guarantees of his invincibility, Macbeth feels invulnerable. Macbeth's overconfidence leads him to commit further atrocities, including the brutal massacre of Macduff's family. However, Macduff escapes and joins forces with Malcolm, Duncan's son, to challenge Macbeth's rule. The combined forces march towards Dunsinane, using branches from Birnam Wood as camouflage, fulfilling the witch's prophecy. As Macbeth's enemies close in, Lady Macbeth, overwhelmed by guilt and madness, takes her own life. In the climactic battle, Macbeth confronts Macduff, who reveals he was not born of a woman, in the usual sense, but delivered by a cesarean section. Realizing the witch's prophecies have tricked him, Macbeth fights valiantly but is ultimately killed by Macduff. Malcolm is restored to the throne, bringing peace and order back to Scotland. The play concludes with a somber reflection on the destructive power of unchecked ambition and the inevitable consequences of moral corruption. Life lessons from Macbeth. The corrosive nature of ambition. Unchecked ambition can lead to one's downfall. Macbeth's insatiable desire for power drives him to commit heinous acts, ultimately leading to his destruction. Ambition, while often a motivator for success, must be tempered with ethics and integrity. The consequences of moral corruption. Engaging in immoral actions such as murder and deceit can lead to severe repercussions. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's descent into madness and guilt exemplifies how moral corruption can destroy an individual from within. The power of guilt. Guilt can have a profound psychological impact. Both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are tormented by their conscience, leading to paranoia, hallucinations, and eventually insanity. The play illustrates how unresolved guilt can be as destructive as the act that caused it. The unreliability of prophecies. Over-reliance on prophecies and predictions can be misleading. Macbeth's misinterpretation of the witch's prophecies contributes to his overconfidence and eventual downfall. The play warns against placing too much trust in foretold destinies instead of focusing on one's actions. The inevitability of justice. Ultimately, justice prevails. Despite Macbeth's temporary success and tyrannical rule, he is eventually overthrown and rightful order is restored in Scotland. The play underscores the belief that wrongdoing will eventually be punished and that ethical behavior leads to a more sustainable and peaceful life.